I'm Pat Burke, I'm the Program Manager for Project QuayLink, which is Tasport's port development project here in East Devonport. We're standing on the newly built reclamation which was completed in late 2023. It's part of the T3 or Terminal 3 Marine and Dredge project, which is the first major project as part of the QuayLink program of works. The QuayLink program of works is Tasport's master plan development project, and it's really about future-proofing the Port of Devonport for the operations of next generation cargo and passenger ships that will come here.
The project comprises three main components: the reclamation and revetment to the south, the new wharf construction behind us here, and then to the north of that the existing wharf upgrade works. So the reclamation to the south is complete, and that has been handed over to our client Tasports. We're also working at pace on the existing structure, which requires significant upgrade works.
Strengthening is required to accept the new generation of vessels that are going to use this wharf. And there are two major components required for the strengthening. One is a new strong point on the land side of the structure, and the other is a sheet pile wall around the outside of the structure to prevent against scour from the vessel's side thrusters during berthing.
Scour protection is a really important function of the new facility we're building at Terminal 3 here. When the ship's propellers, engines and thrusters are operating, the scour protection stops the embankment of the wharf from eroding and scouring out. So we determine the amount of scour protection that's required on the berth, and in this case it's the new Spirit of Tasmania ships that are arriving soon. We were able to conduct simulations at the Australian Maritime College in a whole range of different sort of environmental conditions to see how much the ship uses its engines and its thrusters in lots of different wind and operating scenarios. So once the parameters for the ship operating in the berth are determined, our contractor here, the Hazel Brady joint venture, went about designing a scour protection system that would be able to withstand those operational conditions. And so what they came up with was a rock bag scour protection system. So there's over 2,000 rock bags that will be placed both on the embankment but in the berth pocket itself. They're filled here locally on site based on quarry material that comes from the Long Hill quarry 10 kilometres away from us here. And the mesh material is 100% recycled product and designed to last the whole life of the berth here.
The new wharf comprises 137 metres of wharf frontage, and that together with the existing about 50 metres of the existing wharf comprises the new berth for the new Spirit of Tasmania.
So the way we build a wharf is first we begin with driving steel piles into the ground. Here we've driven 50 steel piles into the ground up to 20 metres in depth. We then bring in precast headstocks that are fabricated off site. They're brought in on trucks and lifted into cranes and positioned on top of the piles. Once they're set in position, we then stitch them to the piles with reinforced steel and concrete on site. Once the headstocks are locked onto the piles, we then position deck planks that span between the headstocks. Those deck planks fill out the deck of the wharf, and from there we fix steel and pour concrete on site to stitch it all together.
Oh, it's a big job. It's different. There's heaps of varieties of minor and major jobs going on between doing the reinforcement to installing the headstocks to doing some simple formwork. And it's a challenge. I think just about everything about it, there's a big challenge to it, and it's nice to see a lot of us overcome those challenges.
One of the key considerations with Project QuayLink, and one of the key constraints, is that we're operating in a functioning port, and the workers have to keep an eye on what's happening day to day to ensure that they're staying safe and the port continues to operate.
Yeah, the crews from both Hazel Brothers and Brady Marine and Civil have worked awesome as a team and done really well to deliver a great piece of infrastructure for the state.
it's nice to know I can be a part of this team, and hopefully in the future I can take away all the skills and what I've learned here, and as strive well in the future as I'm striving well here. So
I like working on this project, having worked all around Australia on various infrastructure projects, both marine and civil. It's great to come back to Tasmania, where I'm from, and contribute to a once-in-a-generation project such as this. It's the kind of project I'll be telling my kids about for years to come.